But if you're a trends better, here's one to look at here in our next one. This is a 10:30 p.m. Eastern game. We have the LA Kings and the New York Islanders, who we just spoke about there. This is a total at 5.5, guys. And we have seen the total go under in 6 of the last 8 games for the Islanders and 4 of the last 5 games there for the LA Kings. 2 teams that protect their own ends very, very well. They play rock solid defense. And now you have a New York Islanders team going out west to take on this Kings team. And they're short underdogs here. An LA Kings team that I thought just in general, I've noticed, have just been mispriced throughout this season, especially the second half of the season. I always think that this LA Kings team doesn't really have the flashy players. They don't have the big name players. They might not have 3 or 4 superstars like a team like the Rangers we just spoke about, but they have lots of guys that do their jobs and they take care of things at both ends of the ice. And I like that here from the LA Kings. LA's awful disappointing loss 2-1 there to Nashville. And as we talked about, New York off that tough loss there to Washington. I like LA here at home to get it done. We saw a couple wins in a row there for the Islanders, and then they kind of fell off. But I think that LA is just a deeper team. And as much as I kind of jumped on the Islanders bandwagon when I saw them trade for Bo Horvat, I still think they only have 3 or 4 guys that are doing the scoring. And as you guys know, I like depth on a team, and I feel like the LA Kings have a bit more of that than the New York Islanders do. So I'll rock with the home team here with the LA Kings. Buster, what do you have for us in this one?
Well, I'm in agreement with you, Andrew. I'm shocked that the price is only $135. I actually thought it should be about $155 easily. I mean, LA, they play well at home. They're a good club. They might end up at the end of the year. They might be first place in the West. That's how good they've been playing. So you're right. You just mentioned it, that they're getting undervalued, and I totally agree with that. They've won 5 out of 6. You mentioned they took a loss, but that was an overtime. I mean, things happen when overtime. They could be 6 for 6. The Islanders are playing pretty good hockey. They're 4-3 last 7, so it's okay. But that last game that we've talked about it a couple times already now, that they lost to Washington, that's troublesome. If you're an Islanders fan, or for sure, you lose to Washington 5-1 at home when you need the win. And now you go into LA against a very good LA club, and not only a very good LA club, an LA club that beats you. The Islanders have really struggled in LA, losing 5 out of their last 6. Just really lots to like with the Kings here, if you ask me. I've already gave it out to my clients as a play. I really like this game. As for the total 5.5, you mentioned there's lots of stats to the overs. There are lots of stats to unders that you've already mentioned. I'm just going to tell everybody that's probably just a pass. When I see 5.5s, and I know it hasn't gone this way this year, 5.5s, they've been going under. But I always say it's easy to get to 6 in this NHL. And especially now that everybody's pulling their goalies very early. Look, even Toronto last night, I don't know when they pulled their goal, and I think it was like 4 minutes in the third period. So, again, can't bet this under, even though don't blame anybody that does. But I advise everybody to pass the total, bet LA Kings, and be happy.
There has been quite a bit of agreeing on this show so far, Carm. Can we end the show?
And that's never good, Andrew.
Hey, we'll find out. We'll find out here tonight. I wish we could recap that stuff tomorrow, but Carm, what do you think? You said you backed the Islanders last time out. Are you going to do it again here in this one?
All right. Before I get into this game, Andrew, because I mentioned it on yesterday's show, so that I was going to pull a name out of our live chat and send them a Puck Time shirt. So I pulled out the name Mike Love. How can you not love a name like Mike Love? So Mike, if you're listening and you can hear this, send a message over to the Puck Time Twitter account, and then I'll send you a DM, get your shipping address, and we will get you a shirt out. So you got to have a guy like Mike Love getting a shirt. It's such a good name, and we got a guy on the show as a guest today who looks like Ron Jeremy and Don Buster. Now, with that said, Andrew, you look at this game.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
No, and that's it. You're done. Look at this game, and I like the Kings, and I like the Kings at this price. They're the third best team right now in the Western Conference. You have to give them respect for that. The third best home record in the Western Conference. Copley is 9-2-1 with a 2.27 goals against average at home, 914 save percentage. And you got the Islanders hitting the road. This is their first of a back-to-back. They play Anaheim tomorrow, so it's likely Sorokin in goal tonight, Varlamov tomorrow for them. And they're like in the East, they have the 9th best road record. They're not a team that wins consistently on the road, and it's because I think they allow more goals on the road. So it remains to be seen what we get here. But the Kings are playing extremely well right now, and I just don't want to get away from them. Can it be a trap game? It could be, but I don't think you can find enough reasons other than saying the price seems too low to think that this is a trap game for the LA Kings. So give me the Kings minus 135, and no opinion on the over or under in this one.
All right, everybody, it's either going to be a great night for the three of us or a not so great night for us on this show. Let's have a big show here on Puck Time. I hope we can all have a big one. And looking at the LA Kings here, a team that plays very well at home at a pretty reasonable price here, we all think here at minus 135.